Welcome to our live Pittsburgh Sportsline in the BPTV studio. Hello everybody, I hope you're doing well with the cold weather and being quarantined to certain points. Please stay safe and healthy. We're going to try to entertain you. I'm Al Levine, the talking machine. Hold on a second. Your prayers were answered. Smoking Jim Frazier's here. We still don't know what happened to him. But the greatest quote that I got from him when I said, "How are you?" "I'm feeling great." Then I asked, "What's going on?" "I'm feeling great." Then I asked, "How's the nurses?" "Beautiful." Then I go, "Can you walk?" "I'm feeling great." I said, "Did you get whiplash?" "I feel great, machine." "Oh, the doctor came in. I gotta go." That's what I talked about. No, the other thing I skipped. Hold up that Tupperware for your fans.
And you know what he was more concerned about? Not the Tupperware, the gum band.
When do you see a Tupperware with a rubber band?
Well, come on, it's Pittsburgh, it's a gum band.
All right, with the gum band holding
Betty
it
Crocker.
together.
It's good stuff. Betty
That's what he
Crocker.
said. Guess what was in there? Tony at Chick-fil-A, he had 8 pieces of Kentucky fried local chicken here. And he had the best dinner from Pasta 2. I turned him on to that a few years ago.
Yes, you did.
They had a prime rib special dinner with pasta and salad. And the paramedics said all he was saying was, "Get Al Levine, the talking machine, my food." And they said he must have said it 10 times. There were 3 bags of food, 1 Tupperware container. And they told me they're not sure what kind of shape he's in, but they took him to Mercy Hospital. This is all I know, and he's back. So we're going to have some information from him.
And those poor EMTs must have thought Alan was undernourished.
And me and my son Drew say, "Thank you, Smoking Jim." And I said, "What do I owe?" He goes,
"Oh, man.
"I feel great, but just eat the rest of the food." That's the Smoking Jim saga. God bless him. He's back again. He has some bad luck, but he keeps coming back. Chip Hayner's here. And then our new Rookie of the Year, Nick Callis, is here.
Hello.
I'm giving him a segment. He asked me if he could be on, and I said sure. So he's on. There's no nepotism here. It's go KO.
Yeah, the
He's an
school
alumnus.
teachers are on strike, huh?
Yes, yes.
Are they?
Yes, they are.
Those
Oh, yeah,
things happen.
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know that.
Support KOEA.
I am. KO. All right, first up, we got Connor. Look at Connor on this.
Yeah.
412-831-1900. He's wearing shorts. He's my hero, but he's on fire. It's hot in here. Olive Oil's Pizzeria. I have to find out if Frank still owns it. I talked to Dave about it. If he does and we get pizza, we may be allowed to nibble on it in the studio. So I'm going to try to check out tomorrow and see if the owner's still there. If it's a new owner, you know the talking machine can talk, so I'll worry about negotiating another contract there, that they supply us with pizza and a hoagie. And we'll talk about how good their food is. Great Italian food, desserts, you name it, pasta, they got it. It's all good stuff there. Check them out, Hillcrest Shopping Center. Next up, we'll see what Connor does with this. Yes, he's on fire. We end each show with Stay Joey Strong. Poor Joey died at 9 years old, just a month before his 10th birthday. He's been dead almost 7 years now, and the family got together, started the Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation because Joey died of DIPG. It's a dreaded brain cancer, and it's just terrible. Anybody diagnosed with it's usually dead within a year, so it's very sad for the families, and who can imagine losing a child? I have 2, and that would crush me. But they do great things. They've raised over $100,000 the last 7 years, and they have great events. They do a 5K 1 mile walk that I filmed, 5 straight years till I had my kidney transplant in 19, and then COVID wiped us out for this past year. So hopefully this year we can get back to doing the Joey Fabus 5K 1 mile run walk, and it's with superheroes. So check that out, and they have other events. Next up, another 501c3. Look at this. Connor's on fire. No wonder he wore shorts. He's burning up. 2600 South Park Road, where the big red trolley's there. That's no T for you youngsters like Nick and Connor and Anthony. That's a trolley. I rode on them from Dormont to downtown when I worked Monday nights and Thursday nights at Ralph's Discount. It was quite the bumpy ride into downtown Pittsburgh, but it was fun. Now you can get their library they have there. They have museum things. They have class book, yearbooks from when it founded. 1905 is the building there. They've refurbished it. They put the old bell from the high school back in the cupola there on the roof. Brand new roof this past year, all new windows. They have a dance studio. They have an artist there. They do different events throughout the year when they can, when it's not restricted by the COVID. So check them out, 2600 South Park Road. Next up, another 501c3. Bethel Park Community Foundation has money for you. $100 to $5,000. Not you, Smoking Jim. Too many accidents. But for anybody doing good things in Bethel Park, well, he is. He promotes us. And he goes to Planet Fitness to watch the girls, so that's why he was in an accident. Oh, I hate to digress about that, but he's a true athlete. You got to give him credit. Oops, sorry, I wavered a little. But you can get your application, bpcf.org, and get it there, and we meet every couple months. Get that there. I'm a trustee on the board, and I have to try to work out maybe missing a Thursday once in a while when they have the meeting, because that's when they have their Thursdays.
Wow,
so
really?
we might have a vacation day in a couple months. Last week we were supposed to have one, and they did, but I decided that, I'm sort of stubborn and focused. The show must go on, so I missed it. But check it out, bpcf.org. Next up, Dave Cable likes to have a little fun. Connor, he's doing it automatically. He just blinked. This guy's unbelievable. He's been here a couple years. He's homeschooled like Smoking Jim believes.
Yes.
He focuses on one sport and no education during the day. None whatsoever, only soccer.
Next soccer superstar.
Yes. Pele, he'll come back. All right, I want you for BPTV. Tell them Uncle Al sent you. 412-831-3304. You can be like Connor on camera. You can be like Nick on camera, audio, behind the scenes, and everything else. And guess what? He graduated to Pittsburgh Sportsline, being one of the co-hosts. Welcome aboard. And just give Dave a call, because you can fill in for the rest of us. All right, Connor, I got to test your skills. This is the test. I'm a little nervous. I'll try to hold it up. I'll try to hold steady. Look at this. Live TV.
Skeets was going to fix the bullet hole in my car.
Really?
Wow. 6103.
You don't have to now.
Route 88, Skeets Service Station, owned by Skeets Lewandowski. They do anything and everything on cars, trucks, anything that runs on gas. Chip Hayner says make sure you have gas in it. I asked Skeets about it. He goes, we have some gas. We'll throw some extra gas in if you forgot or you're cheap, so we can handle it. But they work on electrical things and devices too. Boats, they'll work on those. You name it. They even have a drive shaft company. They make drive shafts. They have a forge. They make hooks for Smoking Jim Sweetie pictures in 2 bedrooms. He has over 800 pictures in 2 bedrooms. Imagine that. Half of them he got on this show. And you know how many pictures I have of the Sweeties? I got less than 5. Look at that. 5. And I gilded a couple of them into it. But call Skeets at 724-348-4715. Hey, that's my story. Now I got to ask Smoking Jim, besides how are you feeling, which he lies, and I feel great. And Yeah. What's on your mind, Smoking Jim, besides feeling great?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green,
Hard fast
you
line.
got to see Levine.
His arms are working. We don't know about the legs.
And I tell you what, man, I've been enjoying the show, watching it from home, man. I tell you what, man.
Well, it's a 96-inch TV screen,
I tell
so
you, man,
you
I
can't go
I
wrong.
didn't have to get off my couch in my game room. Great listening to Nick, especially talk about Joey Faye. This was at his high school football game, man. They all celebrated Joey being there.
He passed the test. I was going to ask about the veracity of his statements.
Yeah.
Now I do not have to.
It's all.
True.
I know Nick says half truths, but it's all true. but I must say, Al Levine, the talking machine.
Yeah.
When God made the white man, He just made y'all extra tough. It's 0 degrees outside or close to it. My man Connor got a Gucci hoodie sweater on with shorts, man. I tell you what, brother, y'all just tough.
Disclaimer, Tony and all the fans of Smoking Jim Frazier, what did we get, about 1 minute? And he put the race card out there. We thank you, Smoking Jim, all of us.
On a sad note, I was running a little bit late today.
So you didn't get any food?
I did. I got food before I went to appointment. I went to see a friend of the show, Joey Velasquez. Her mom passed.
Jody,
Yes, she did.
yes,
So I went to the
saw
wake.
that.
You know, I showed up to the wake and
Very nice lady she was. I
dressed
met her.
down a little bit. One of the, I guess since I've been in so many accidents, the Undertaker knew me. He already had me fitted.
Where was it at?
It's out there in
South
all
Fayette.
white, all white people.
South Fayette.
I get there. I'm on my way out the door, and the Undertaker. I'm the first one there. I got there early because we got the show.
Yeah.
So I mean, they made sure, brother roaming around.
Oh boy.
Welcome back, Smoking Jim.
So I'm sitting in there, man. He already had me measured. But then when I left, he said, "Are you Smoking Jim?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "You're an NFL scout, right?" "Yeah." "Let me show you my grandson. He plays for Valdosta State, number 87. Yeah." He said, I said, "Yeah, I'll check him out." He had us the information he gave me about his grandson.
What's
So I
his
looked him
name?
up.
What's his grandson's name?
I didn't look that
Look
closely.
on the card.
Well, I don't have my glasses
Oh, okay.
on, but
Chip will read it for you.
But he showed me the pictures. But
No free advertisements on Pittsburgh
almost
Sportsline.
everybody to a man out there complimented my brother walk. They said, "Man, we love the way your brother walk, man."
Time odds.
Never in a hurry. Never in a hurry.
No.
You know?
I got to go back.
I'll get there when I get there.
I got to go back to my theme. When I got my kidney transplant about 17 months ago, there was my best friend, Smoking Jim Frazier, in a hospital because for a month he couldn't walk from there to there. And he goes, "All brothers walk like that." And I go, "Unhealthy ones don't." And when I saw him walk in tonight, was I quiet?
Yeah.
Did I see you? And I'm feeling great. Thanks for your stories, buddy. Carry on.
But I tell you what, man, I'm having problems 3 times a week.
You got to get out of bed. I know.
Well, it's hard because they assign me to rehab, so I go to rehab. And
What's wrong with you?
yeah, I'm like, and I have
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I have a list of things that I ain't doing. I ain't rolling around on no ball. I ain't walking on a treadmill.
Why not?
I ain't
The ball
walking
would
around
burst.
Ball's so fun.
The ball would burst.
Big enough ones.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
I'm not
They
swinging.
don't.
I'm not swinging the broomstick around. I says I believe in. I can sit and get fit, so I just ride. the
Smoking
exercise
Jim.
bike.
Let me explain something to
It's
you.
like he's going grocery shopping. He rides the electric cart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I may try that if I
Oh
can figure it
my.
out.
I can actually picture
Took me
that.
2 weeks to put their tripod together, man,
Oh,
for
my
championship chase, man.
Smoking Jim,
It came with extra parts.
let me give you my guess on the whiplash that you have. I had a car accident on Bethel Church Road where I live near the American Legion.
Well, I'm going to stay off that road.
That's a main road. You've been
Is
on
that
it.
the only one you haven't wrecked on?
This happened right where the American Legion is near 88. Once you come across, we were stopped, and I was taking my daughter to a doctor's appointment, and there were a couple cars ahead of me. And unlike Smoking Jim, I just waited. They're turning left. My daughter goes to me, "Dad, why aren't you pulling up?" I go, "We're not in a hurry. Let them turn." Bang! We got hit from behind.
Wow.
My daughter's seat buckled up. We had seat belts on. She's alive. A lady hit us going over 50 miles an hour.
Oh, my goodness.
Right at the American Legion. She said, "I didn't see you."
Whew.
And another lady gets out because I had the brake on and I got bumped into the car in front of me. My daughter had whiplash when we went to the doctor. The police came, said, "Go ahead, you can drive to MediHelp on Washington Road." So we got there. The car's like this. And I'm driving. I don't feel any pain. They wanted to examine me, so I pulled a Smoking Jim. I go, "I'm fine." Next day at work, some friends of mine go, "You know, I was in an accident. I had whiplash, and we had to stack 35-pound bundles." I know you don't know what that's like.
No, I don't.
But we did that for the newspaper, the Pittsburgh Press and Post-Gazette. And a couple guys go, "Hey, Al, you're not going to make it today." I go, "I'm strong." First hour, I'm fine. Second hour, I had to sit down. My back hurt. They go, "We'll cover for you." They did. I went to the doctor. He goes, "You got whiplash." 6 months of rehab I had to go through.
Wow.
3 times a week.
Wow.
And I worked the whole time too.
Wow.
So my man, you got to suck it up. Like my dad always said, "What do you do next?" You follow. That's my story to help my friend out. You got to follow a couple of the rules, no matter what you say or he says.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what.
That's my story.
Yep.
I'm
Only
living
prob-
proof of that.
only
Look, I
problem
I can walk and bend, unlike my man.
they
Get
can
him to
send,
bend over a desk.
They can send a man to the moon, but they can't make a exercise bike that don't cut off if you're not going at a certain speed. But anyhow, let me tell you about the accident a little bit, man.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you what, Al Levine, I'm coming from Planet Fitness. You know,
On
and
88,
yeah,
on 88.
Had a couple pieces of chicken while I was there and watching all the girls in the yoga tights. and I'm leaving out Al Levine, the talking machine.
Yeah.
And I looked and I seen that the person was going to run the red light. So I didn't move, but I did peek up and see my light was green.
Yeah.
Traffic to my right was moving. All of a sudden, not only did they run the red light,
Yeah.
but they got confused and came in my lane.
Yeah.
All I seen was headlights.
Were you
right?
at the light where Planet Fitness is here? You come down?
No,
and there's
I
a-
was right
In
by
front.
I was right by the light by the get-go.
Oh.
So I'm back a little bit because they could have made that sharp right.
Yeah.
Or the
Because I
right
wondered
I'm
where
at.
it was. I thought it was
Yeah.
at Planet Fitness.
Right there, man. Right there.
Wow.
So, and the airbag must have knocked me out. I don't know if the hit knocked me out the airbag. So,
Well, they can knock you out.
so I'm
You
coming.
know your bucket of chicken got hit.
Yeah, I'm coming to a little bit, and I hear the police officer say, "That's Smoking Jim. He does the TV show with Al Levine, the talking machine." So then the police officers asked me, they says, "You want us to call Dave Cable or Nick?" I'm like, "Nick really moving up fast." I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, give
Yeah.
Nick a call."
Yeah.
So the ambulance comes. The person that hit me, I can hear them admitting fault. You know, they said it was their
I
fault.
thought it
and
was a
everything.
lady.
I had witnesses. Yeah, the person. I call them a person.
Well, there's ladies and men.
Yeah, I didn't want to discriminate.
That's
Tony,
Wait, hold on.
Tony
Ra-
just said,
Race and gender.
he
and-
goes, Smoking
Is
Jim.
there,
What did Tony just say? Tony goes, everything Smoking Jim went through, he still managed to use the race card. Then he has a question for you on the Super Bowl. So we'll ask that later. Keep going on this story.
So they take me out. The ambulance come, man. They get me out the car, man. You know, the police officers was talking to me about the Super Bowl and whatnot. You know, they load me in. throw a mask on me right away, right?
Of
So they're
course.
taking me. I said, take me.
Because the
to-
airbag blew your mask off.
Yeah, so they gave me two choices, Presby or Mercy. I said, take me to Monroeville. They said, it got to be Presby or Mercy. So they said, Mercy's closer. So I'm like, all right, I'm like, listen, before I sign anything, I need a white doctor. Now I got a black doctor for ear, nose, and throat. But this here, I wanted a white doctor. So I get there, all of a sudden, I got a good appetite. I'm eating good. Next thing you know, every time I get done eating, they're breaking plates like they did Hank Aaron. It wouldn't bring me no pork chops, man. So I had to get out of there. I had to get out of there, Alavita. And you know me, Al.
I know you.
So I finally get home. I fall asleep while I'm watching Perry Mason.
Nice.
I wake up and put on Columbo.
Nice.
And
Two good shows.
And then Barnaby Jones is on. This
Another
is middle
good
of the
show.
night.
Yeah.
I see a commercial with a lawyer. Now, you know I hate to sue people.
Yeah.
So I see a lawyer.
Call
So-
Edgar Snyder.
So I called a lawyer and told him what happened. They took my case right away, man. And again, white lawyer. now, if I go to traffic court, I get my brothers, and then we go to Savoy afterwards and have a drink. But that's it, Al Levine, the talking
wow.
machine. That's what's on my mind. I feel good now, going through rehab. I sit while I'm getting fit. And there's no problem, machine.
The way you're walking's a problem. I feel great. Thank you, Smoking Jim. That was quite the what's on your mind. I think we covered most of it. Who's next? Chip, what's on your mind? I forgot.
Oh, thank you, Alan. That's quite an act to follow.
There's no way. Just do your own thing.
Just real quickly, looking at what happened with the Pittsburgh Penguins last week.
Yeah.
Jim Rutherford quitting on the team, and if you think about it, he didn't do anything less. This is a team that he committed to being the general manager of for this year, and for whatever reason, which is not clear to any of us.
Right. Personal, though.
He quit on the team.
Yeah.
You can't look at it in any other way. If, say, Sid Crosby would have got upset because of the decision the coach made and he quit, would you say anything less of him?
Yeah.
So Penguins are in a bad way. Their defensive core is completely non-existent. Everybody's on the injured reserve list. Chris Letang got hurt in the last game.
Yeah.
Penguins looked real bad against the Rangers on
did.
Monday night. Two games got postponed. They're supposed to play the Islanders, I believe, on Saturday.
Yeah.
And one of their players, Marino, is on the COVID list, which doesn't necessarily mean that he tested positive.
No.
But he was exposed to somebody that could have or was tested positive. So, he's got to quarantine from his teammates to prevent the spread. But, I said this going into the season. I said this is probably the weakest Penguins team we've probably seen in 15 years.
Yeah.
And so far this season, they have not had a lead in any game during the course of the game. Wow. They tie the game up in the late parts of the third period, and when they win in overtime.
The last game they had a goal first. They did have a lead for 5 minutes.
Yeah, but
5 minutes.
But
I watched.
They lost it quickly.
Yes.
Okay, they lost it.
No,
quickly.
I had to correct you on that. I was
this,
watching.
This is not a sustainable model over the course of a season. No, it's only a 56-game season.
Right.
The Penguins would have been playing their 9th and 10th games Tuesday night and tonight.
Right.
Had they played the Devils, but they didn't, so they got 2 games coming up against the Islanders. And, just one last little fact about the Penguins and hockey.
All right.
I know we've got other things to talk about. We've complained about the Penguins' goaltending this year, saying that it's been subpar. But I want to bring up a simple fact that I found out the other day.
All right.
The Penguins traded Matt Murray. Matt Murray, at this point, for the Ottawa Senators, has the absolute worst goals against average in the NHL of close to 7 goals
Really?
a game.
I wondered about him.
And his save percentage is in the low 80s.
Wow.
He is by far, right now, the worst goaltender in the NHL. And maybe Rutherford knew what he was doing when he traded him out But the goaltenders that we have right now, I don't think they're ever going to be able to hoist a cup. That's what's on my mind.
How many games usually does professional hockey play?
Normally they play an 82
2.
game season, 80 or 82.
No, 82.
Okay, and this year they're playing 56.
And I'm glad that you finally agree with me that the Fleury curse is alive and well.
There's
Took
nothing to
you
do
some
with
years.
Marc-Andre Fleury. Because let
Some
me ask you this:
Jeez.
are the Las Vegas Knights going to be
He does
cursed
this all.
because they benched Fleury in lieu of somebody else?
He's a comedian. He's an entertainer.
Okay.
It's entertaining. Chip, thank you
Next.
for the facts. We'll talk to Smoking Jim later. He's in rare form. That laying down, resting his legs and back and neck have worked out well because he's still feeling great. Oh, sorry, that's my thing. All right, for our Rookie of the Year, Nick,
All right.
what's on your mind?
Well, with Smoking Jim back, I'm
Go
feeling
ahead.
some nepotism's on my mind. You know, I mean, I think you were right, Jim, Smoking Jim, because, you know, I mean, I went to the control room, started directing. Now I'm out here, and who knows, Al might let me take your job sometime soon. So
You
who
did
knows?
take it for a week.
I did take it for a week, so there you go.
I
Yeah.
already bounced them right out. What did I say? Get in the seat.
Under the table family kind of thing going on here. So
Put
that's
me in, Coach.
I co-signed that. Everything he said is 100% of what I didn't
that's
say.
why we're sitting on the same side.
Yes,
There you go.
I brought it right in.
But
I didn't want you corrupted by smoking
but
because you don't feel great, do you?
you know, I feel great, man.
Okay, good,
Feel
good. Just
great.
checking. You
But,
fell in perfectly.
Yeah. But
Anything
yeah.
else?
Yeah, the next thing, we got new shirts too for the
Show it
TV
for the
stations. So
camera.
check that out. Public Access TV, our facility director Dave Cable made this, made that design, and then Anthony Veltri, the one directing right now, had these shirts
You
printed.
mean with the hair not out of
sent 'em-
place?
with a hair not out of place. Well, that's Smoking Jim's thing.
No,
I'm
you're
sure
allowed
we'll
to
get
steal
there.
the lines. We spread them.
Oh, I
around.
stole them the week before. It's
I know
fine.
you
Yeah, I
did.
did.
You
And-
wanted the green.
right? Yes.
I gave it to you.
Thank you. Yes, you did.
Carry on.
And then
What
the
else?
last thing, it's the Super Bowl. Smoking Jim, I don't know if you remember this either, but I did say back in mid-November that if I had to pick a Super Bowl contender that would benefit the NFL, make the NFL a lot of money, and be interesting, the Buccaneers would win the Super Bowl. Do you remember that?
I remember that, and also you don't remember because you wasn't here. But before the season started, I picked Kansas City and Tampa Bay. A lot of people said I was only picking that
Did
because
you?
of Brady and
I said
Gronk
that.
and Antonio
I said that.
Brown.
Well,
One person. I said that.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I said Kansas City.
Well,
So
at
that's
the
why,
beginning,
that's
but
why
at
because of Nick, I'm gonna put heavy money on Tampa Bay.
oh, don't do it. Oh,
Tony, you heard it. Smoking
the
Jim.
kiss
knows
is dead.
Tampa
Oh, no.
Bay.
You want to kiss
I'm
your
betting
money
the house
goodbye?
on KC.
Oh,
Bet
man.
heavy on the Bay.
Now I
Bet
don't
heavy
know
on the
now.
Bay if you want to lose a wad.
I'm getting 3.5.
Now I'm scared because I do think they're going to win, but you're betting for them now, and now I'm legitimately frightened.
I had a bad year.
Oh,
Nick, I got to share this since this is before you also. Since Smoking Jim can take liberty with you not being here yet. You weren't here a couple years ago. Smoking Jim made 7 bets where he said, bet the house. Guess how many he won? Bet the house on the team. And that means put all your money on it, right?
Yeah, that's
you
right.
understand
I
that?
understand.
Well, he only won on 2 of them. So that means he lost 5. And 2
no.
goes into 5, you're out.
Oh no.
So don't start betting. Do the opposite of Smoking Jim I've been saying for years. So sorry to
No.
put a little kibosh to your
No,
great prediction.
now I'm
It
scared.
was a great
but
prediction.
But
Don't-
I made
have
the
no fear.
prediction. Al did a little laugh. Chip wasn't on board, but I did predict that the Buccaneers would win the Super Bowl, and hopefully, pending Smoking Jim and his excessive money gambling.
That was degenerate gambling practices.
Yeah.
Yes.
That. Other than that, I do still think the Buccaneers will win the Super Bowl, and I'll elaborate later.
Well,
but
I still believe on Kansas City, so I'll go with that.
that's okay. I still disagree with you, but that's okay.
Well, that's
all
what
right.
sports is about. It's based on a little bit of facts and a lot of opinion.
Yes.
So we can go with that.
Okay.
I appreciate you that you're rejecting my prediction. That's why we pick different teams, and that's why there's many out there. What's on my mind? I got to think back here now. I lost my thought because I did watch the Penguins. Chip took all that thunder out, and we'll talk Penguins at the end of the night, so we'll cover some of that. But I was just thinking, like a year ago, all we had was injuries with the Steelers, Pirates, and Penguins. And then I'm looking at this year, 11 of the Penguins have been on the injury list from the beginning of the year. And all of our defensive guys, I think, but 2 have been hurt. So they're suffering. The Steelers, look what injuries did on the defense. So I talk about curses like Smoking Jim does. No, not. Just rarely. But I said we had the curse of the injuries last year, and it's continuing again this year. And it hurts when some of those players cannot be replaced. So we'll see what happens. Give your prayers to all us sports fans and sports teams, because we do love our teams here. We bleed that black and gold. But when they suck, they truly suck. So we'll be back with some fiction and fact from Smokin' Jim's Almanac.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. I got my main man, Connor, in the house. We got Nick. And now he's a co-host. He's a co-owner. He's a manager.
Still got that VIP parking spot.
Wait, he didn't get one thing yet. He's not on the card yet. Connor, pull it close up. He's not on the card. See if you can see Nick's name. 1, 2, 3. Come on. I know he can do it. This will be great. Look at that.
Woo!
You see, Nick?
I still got my originals from 9 years ago.
I know. 250 cards. You know, he gave out 2 of them, and they were both to me.
Hey, you know what I got? I got a rock.
Sorry, Chip.
You got to give a shout out to my main man, Anthony, on the 1s and 2s. Never a hair out of place, making us look good.
Yeah, but he got a cut. Just like Smokin' Jim.
did.
I didn't announce it last week because Smokin' Jim always notices. Marianne cut my hair at Azazu last week. Chip was telling me for 2 weeks, you're about ready for a cut, aren't you? I got it.
Well, I did notice yesterday you didn't post your dinners. Is that because you have some fried chicken? You don't post it when you got that. You only post when you got the good stuff, bro.
Hold it. People think
when you out there killing raccoons, you don't post that, man.
there was a groundhog we had, and he was good.
Yeah.
He was very good.
But hey, in honor of Black History Month, seems like wherever I go, anywhere people say, during Black History Month, we want more stories during Black History Month. So I got to give people what they want. So.
Who are these people?
Yeah, they're all around, man.
Tell me one. Here's my question. Tell me one of their names.
I don't know white people's name. All you white folks look alike to me, man. But hey, I got to talk about, I interviewed for the Pittsburgh Courier some years back, Tony Dungy.
Yeah.
I think that's a good one for
I've
Black
heard of his
History
name.
Month. Now, with Tony Dungy, I know Tony Dungy has every dime he ever made from football and coaching.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing him and his wife and his kids when they was little at the Dollar Movie all the time. I ran into Tony at the Dollar Movie, so I know he ain't a big spender, brother. But hey.
What were you doing there?
Hey, when you're dating as many girls as I tried to date, brother, you save a lot of money going to the Dollar Movie, man.
Hold it.
You know it.
I found out on one of your shows. I was randomly going through. I saw a post with PCTV, and he had somebody on, and they were talking about dating. Is it good to go to a movie on your first date? And lady Jennifer said no, but she was going on one that week. She goes, I wish I would have known what questions you were going to ask. And I just saw her recently, and we talked about that.
Did you seen Jennifer?
Yes, I did.
Which Jennifer? Because there's 2.
Rattay.
Rattay, that's, she's beautiful.
Let me guess, they're both white.
Yeah, beautiful.
That's why I didn't know. She even asked about you.
Huh?
She even asked about you.
Yeah.
And you didn't know her friend, but I went to her birthday party, April.
But I'm like every white man I know. Women with red hairs and freckles. I can't resist. You can't resist the freckles, can you? No man can resist the freckles, brother. You know that's true. They hate red-headed men. There's a prejudice against red-headed men, but red-headed women, boy, they got to be the best.
I dated a redheaded woman.
Who wouldn't want that? That's a dream, brother.
Well, there's a reason why it ended, why I wouldn't want it, but she was pretty.
Nice.
Well, we'll go.
Here you go. You
Yeah,
can go
look.
through
No
that.
man can resist the freckles. But hey, I got acquainted with Tony Dungy early. Remember Sports Illustrated?
Yes.
I had a bunch of old Sports Illustrateds. I seen Tony Dungy in the back to Who's Who when he was 14 or 15 years old. Tony Dungy goes to the University of Minnesota as a quarterback. Senior year, he leads the Big Ten in passing. Warren Moon, same year, leads the Pac-10 in passing. Neither can get an NFL shot. Warren goes, picks up 5 Grey Cups. Montreal owned Tony Dungy's rights.
Wow.
But Montreal had a GM at that time named Bill Polian
Yeah.
and a head coach by the name of Marv Levy.
Wow.
But Tony Dungy decides to change positions. He never played defensive back in his life, and joined the Pittsburgh Steelers that had 11 Pro Bowlers on their defense, and Donnie Shell was a backup. But so I don't know what possessed him to go. End up winning a Super Bowl championship. Gets traded to the San Francisco 49ers. Tony Dungy told me the biggest celebrity he ever met, ever played against, or ever seen in person was with the San Francisco 49ers, then O.J. Simpson. He said he was such a superstar that O.J. had his own security. They assigned his own security. They said people used to break in the hotels just to try to get autographs from O.J. He said that O.J. Simpson was the only player when he played with the Pittsburgh Steelers that the defense feared. Wanted everybody on point because they knew O.J. could go 80 yards at any given time. And don't forget, I was at the game when he went 94 yards
Of course.
against the Steelers. I was there.
Who were you with?
No half facts there.
Who were you with?
My daddy. We was both cheering, go Juice, go Juice. Then after the game, he got into a white Bronco. But anyhow, but Tony Dungy got traded from San Fran to the New York Giants for Ray Rhodes.
Wow.
And he was so mad about that, he retired from football. You trade me for Ray Rhodes.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
I got to pull the race card. Do all white Broncos look the same?
It depends on who's riding shotgun in the.
I don't know.
Wow.
I'm curious.
Depends on who's the shotgun guy.
Wow.
Little history there for you.
Tony Dungy, 25 years old, assistant coach with the Steelers. By 28, he was the youngest defensive coordinator in the history of the National Football League. Leaves the Steelers for Kansas City. Marty Schottenheimer and Bill Cowher. Everybody learns from Cowher. Then he was a defensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings. Tony Dungy told me
Isn't there another Hall of Fame head coach that was a defensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings? Mike Tomlin.
Oh my goodness. No, you just depressed me. but
He's your friend.
he said Denny Green hired him. He said that's the only time he got discouraged was when in 93, Minnesota had the best defense in the league, led the league in everything, and gave up the fewest rushing yards in the NFL in the last 60 years. 7 head coaching jobs. He never got a call. He got the press. He went to his dad, because every time he gets the press, he goes to his dad. His dad gives him a pep talk like, don't
Sort
give
of
up
like
on
you and your dad.
Well, no, my dad, my dad's belt ought to be in the Hall of Fame, brother.
Are you sure he didn't go to the dollar movies?
He might have. And here, Tony Dungy didn't know this is a hero. And
Okay.
Chip can relate to this because both his parents was in the military.
Yeah.
Tony Dungy didn't know till his dad's funeral, because his dad used to always tell him, hey, you know what I mean, you can't You can't look and say that this is a racism, that's the racism. You just got to do the best you can. He said, when I was in the military, they wouldn't let us fly, so we taught ourselves to fly. Tony Dungy's dad, Will Dungy, was part of the Tuskegee Airmen.
Wow.
Tony Dungy never knew it because his dad was so humble until after
Most of those guys were.
After he died. Can you imagine if I was a Tuskegee Airman? Everybody would know it, man. I'd be on the Ferris wheel. I'd be on the Ferris wheel and Kenny Wood with my Purple Heart, brother, my wings. But anyhow, they were humble. But hey, Tony Dungy finally got a head coaching job 2 years later at Tampa Bay. He was their third choice. Jimmy Johnson was the first choice. He went to Miami Dolphins. Steve Spurrier was the next choice. Tony Dungy went. Tampa Bay had 14 straight losing seasons. Tony Dungy's had one job, to convince Hardy Nickerson, the team captain, to stay, because that would give stability. He knew Hardy from his Pittsburgh Steelers days. You remember Hardy Nickerson, didn't you?
I do too.
You probably took some of his girlfriends off of him, Chip, when you was a bartender, man. I don't know what you was putting in
He's on fire,
them
folks. Just like Connor.
Hey, Chip used to date this girl we all wanted named Princess. Oh, my goodness. Talking about lips, hips, and fingertips.
What happened with Dungy?
So anyway, you get over there. So Dungy leaves Tampa Bay, turns that program around, goes to the Indianapolis Colts, and his offensive coordinator is Tom Moore, who was his offensive coordinator in college at Minnesota. And then he got the great Peyton Manning. They go to the Super Bowl. Tony Dungy told his team, the one thing we're not going to do is kick the football to Devin Hester, and this is my last thing. Okay. He said, we're not going to kick the football to Devin Hester. One thing we're not going to do is kick the football to Devin Hester.
We heard you.
The team chaplain speaks to the team prior to the game. He says, talks about David and Goliath. He said, David, he had no fear, went after Goliath, wasn't scared of Goliath. That was his secret.
This is biblical.
Tony Dungy says, listen, we're not going to have any fear. We're going to kick the Devin Hester. We're going to tackle him hard. 12 seconds later, Hester's in the end zone. But they end up winning the game. And lastly, let me go over Tony Dungy's coaching tree, which is very underrated. Now, I love Tony Dungy. We talk periodically, and I let him know often he don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. But he's in there because he's black. But listen.
Wait, how about the Hall of Fame coach that was as a secondary coach?
That Bill Cowher deserves it.
No, that was Mike Tomlin.
Oh, yeah. Oh, speaking of Mike Tomlin.
He got it twice.
Here, right here, I got Mike Tomlin number one. Mike Tomlin inherited Bill Cowher's team. That's number one. He had Jim Caldwell. Caldwell took Indianapolis to the Super Bowl. When he was with Detroit, they had the most wins in a 3-year period in 50 years. Lovie Smith is on that coaching tree. Herm Edwards is on that coaching tree. Mike Shula, white guy, on that coaching tree.
Emphasis.
Leslie Frazier is on that coaching tree. How about Rod Marinelli, another white guy, on that coaching tree? And the guy that's only been assistant head coach, but I think he got a future because he got the complexion to get the protection. How about Joe Barry, another white guy? Remember that name, defensive coordinator Joe Barry.
Now,
and that's it.
Okay.
I'll write that down.
Do you remember that this show's an hour? Okay. All right. The next thing, out of all those coaches that he mentioned, what do they all have in common with the exception of one that's going to the Hall of Fame?
They're celebrating Black History Month.
They've all been fired.
That's true. That's true.
Great
with the
point.
exception of
But
Mike Tomlin.
Tony Dungy did tell me this. When we talked about Tampa Bay, he did say this. He did say, Smoking Jim, I'm not going to donate to your organization. He said, but he said most coaches go to a losing team with the exception of Mike Tomlin.
Breathe. Okay.
Thank you, Smoking
Don't you
Jim.
agree with that?
Well, you know what? I
Thank
don't
you.
have much time to disagree with it. All right, welcome
Pull up,
back, everybody.
Chip. There we go.
You know, we've had a rash of baseball greats from the '60s and the '70s pass away.
No, they died.
And you know, I want to talk about somebody who I met once, and it was on a Monday night back in 2013.
Yeah.
At Sip Sports Lounge. Alan and Jim and I were hosting a show at Sip Sports Lounge.
Yeah.
And Grant Jackson, who was the pitcher who won the seventh game of the World Series in 1979 for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
The last time we won that.
And we interviewed him on the air, but when we got to the show that night, as always, I show up 45 minutes, an hour early.
Yeah.
And a friend of ours, Mario Tempest, brought and introduced me to Grant Jackson, and I sat at the bar with him for about 40 minutes before the show started.
Oh, what a talk you had.
And we talked baseball. And you know, unfortunately, Grant Jackson passed away due to complications from the COVID virus. And that was one of the most enjoyable evenings I ever spent having anything to do with this show. Grant and I sat there and talked baseball, and I swear that nobody else in the room existed. The two of us just sat there, and what a fascinating person.
Yeah.
Somebody that was he played for the Pirates for 6 years, won the seventh game of the World Series in 1979, was a coach for the Pirates, still an ambassador to the Pittsburgh Pirates, would go down to spring training every year.
Yeah.
And just
a great guy.
I feel truly blessed to have met him. And to have an evening just to talk baseball with him. When I heard that he passed, I absolutely shed a tear. Just a great man, a great ambassador for the game of baseball.
It wasn't COVID.
Great person.
And it was
Smoking
a
Jim.
great.
The doctor said it was COVID. You're a denier.
Well, you can think what you want, but I just wanted to make mention of that. Grant Jackson in his career, and we don't really have time to go over what he did, but. He was actually, he played in 2 World Series in the 70s, one against the Pirates and one with the Pirates. In 1971, he was on the Orioles pitching staff against the Pirates. He came into the league in 1967. Truly will be missed. Made his major league debut in 1965. Last appearance September 8th, 1982 for the Pittsburgh Pirates. But he'll be dearly missed, and that's a moment that I treasure.
Yeah. It was a good night. We've had a lot of great guests on Pittsburgh Sportsline.
He had that brother walk too.
No, he was not like you. He was a true athlete. You're an ex-athlete. You're an ex-athlete. Been many times injured. All right, Chip. We got a few minutes. Do your thing.
Okay. Tonight, we do this every year. Jim and I go over the finalists for the NFL Hall of Fame, which will be elected on Saturday evening. Now, this year there's going to be 15 modern era finalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2021. It is comprised of 6 individuals who are finalists for the first time. Jared Allen, Calvin Johnson, Peyton Manning, Charles Woodson. 2 others, defensive back Rondé Barber, and somebody that I know Jim Frazier believes should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago, Clay Matthews Jr. And these are guys that are made the finals for the first time.
Right.
15 modern era finalists will be considered for the election committee. The full committee will elect up to 5 modern era players. So there's 15 players. There's 5 people that are going to get elected. Some of the people that are going to be up for voting for the contributors, Tom Flores, Bill Nunn, Drew Pearson. And Drew Pearson, if Lynn Swann and John Stallworth are in the Hall of Fame, Drew Pearson was every bit as good a receiver in the 70s as either one of those two. So we're going to go down the list, and here the list goes. Jared Allen, Rondé Barber, Tony Baselli's been made it 5 times, Leroy Butler, Alan Faneca, Torrey Holt, Calvin Johnson, John Lynch, Peyton Manning, Clay Matthews Jr., Sam Mills, Richard Seymour, Zach Thomas, Reggie Wayne, and Charles Woodson. Now, I'm going to make my selections, and then I'll let you make yours.
He needs a pen.
John Lynch wasn't on my list. You know, I got to put him on.
Okay, so these are the 5 that I think will make it. Now, it's without a doubt, Peyton Manning is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. and I believe Charles Woodson will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I also believe that Calvin Johnson will make the Hall of Fame, as well as Reggie Wayne, and I do believe that Clay Matthews will get elected. What do you think? Which 5 do you think are going to make it?
Well, I'm sorry, I'm not. I didn't have John Lynch. He wasn't on my list, but he got to be in the Hall of Fame. I love him. The Hall of Fame, I got Jared Allen and Rondé Barber out. Tony Baselli got to be in. Leroy Butler out. Alan Faneca got to go in. Torrey Holt, Calvin Johnson out. Calvin Johnson quit on the game. Peyton Manning in. Clay Matthews would already be in the Hall of Fame if he was black. That's reverse discrimination. Sam Mills got a statue of himself outside of Carolina Stadium and was great in the USFL. He got to go in. Richard Seymour out. Zach Thomas got to go in the Hall of Fame. Hardest hitting linebacker I ever seen. Reggie Wayne out. Charles Woodson got to go in. Tom Flores, not this year, even though he got the Hispanic vote. They need some more Hispanics in the Hall of Fame, but not this year. I would put Drew Pearson in. I love Bill Nunn. Bill Nunn is a friend of mine, a mentor of mine. Bill Nunn cannot go in the Hall of Fame before Dick Haley goes in the Hall of Fame. Dick Haley was the general manager of the Pittsburgh Steelers. All the great players didn't come from black colleges. Lambert and all them guys, and Bradshaw and all them guys didn't come from black colleges. Okay. Dick Haley got 13 Hall of Famers under his belt, and he's not getting any recognition for the Hall of Fame.
Now, I told you 5 of those 15 are getting picked into the Hall of Fame. You selected 8.
Yeah, 8.
So out of those 8, which 5 are actually going to go in?
Let's take Drew Pearson off. He'll have to cry.
No, again. He's not one of the 15.
So he can stay here.
Yes, Drew Pearson can stay in.
If you got to twist my arm,
personally, I don't think Tony Baselli belongs in the Hall of Fame. Okay. Unfortunately, I don't think. I think it's a numbers game this year, and I think Alan Faneca is going to have to wait one more year. I do believe he belongs in the Hall of Fame. But I mean, you think about it. You look at Reggie Wayne.
What 5 you got going in?
I've got Reggie Wayne.
You got Reggie Wayne going in?
No,
the second best receiver on the team. He wasn't even the best. That's like Juju. That's like putting Juju.
He had 1,050 receptions.
He was good, but he wasn't the best on his team.
Smoking Jim, he undoubtedly gave all of his picks before you did.
He didn't hear it. He didn't hear it.
Clay Matthews, Peyton Manning.
He's still injured.
Reggie Wayne, Charles Woodson, and
this is what we.
And I do believe Calvin Johnson's going to go on the first ballot.
Give me something, Machine.
What?
You've been listening. Give me something. You and Nick. Who you got going in? You got to have Baselli going in there.
No, I don't. I didn't look at it.
His career was too short. He was injured.
Peyton Manning, sure. I like that.
I'm with Peyton.
Clay Matthews, yeah, I mean.
You got to put Charles Woodson in. You got to put Charles Woodson in.
No,
I have to.
I'll put Charles Woodson in. Yeah. I'll put Alan Faneca in.
I would put him in too, yeah.
And I put John Lynch in.
Yeah, I love John Lynch.
I always liked him.
But they for some reason, he's a white defensive back.
I don't know about Calvin Johnson just yet.
I wouldn't put him in. He's a quitter.
Okay. Peyton Manning, Charles Woodson. Peyton Manning, Clay Matthews, Charles Woodson, Reggie Wayne, and then some other 5th person.
And everybody understand next Thursday night we'll revisit this, and we'll let you know who all the inductees will be.
Now, the guys from last year are going in again, right?
Here's what's going to happen. They are going to have 2 classes get inducted at the same time this year.
Because we got a boxing match
coming
up. We got called to do it. So
keep it rolling.
We'll share. All right, make it quick because I got an announcement.
All right, go ahead. Do what you got to do, Alan.
All right. We'll just go right to On Location. Believe it or not, Smoking Jim got a text message by a friend of ours. USS Fight Academy. We did a show there a couple years ago in the winter. Devin Shea couldn't make it in a snowstorm. I had to run the cameras, do the interviews, do the whole setup at USS Fight Academy, 1712 North Lincoln Highway and North Versailles. So we're going to be there on March 13th at 6 p.m. We'll be filming boxing, amateur boxing. on the 13th. We'll be practicing social distancing. I still believe in COVID. I have a 50-50 chance because of my anti-remission drugs to die if I get COVID. So Smoking Jim, if I die, it'll be because of COVID.
Don't say that.
If. But people have died and just lost another friend to that. So we'll see what happens. I'm honored that we can do a show. Smoking Jim and I will be doing the announcing, and we're looking for great fights there. USS Cunningham, who owns the gym, we're good friends with him. He's from Philly. We still like him. And he chose to live here in Monroeville because his daughter got a heart transplant at like 9 years old. So, and she's doing well, and it's been a few years since then. So we'll be there. You guys got any results that you want to put out? Because we got 48
this year,
seconds.
Pro
Do
Football
it.
Hall of Fame. Twice the
Sorry.
fun in 21. Both classes from 2020 and 2021 will be inducted on August the 5th. The Hall of Fame game, the Steelers and the Cowboys. Gold Jacket Dinner August 6th. Enshrinement to the Centennial Class August 7th. August 8th, the class of 2021.
There you go, Smoking Jim. Did you listen?
Thanks, Jim.
Your injuries weren't that bad. You can still hear. Biddies, I'll end the show with Smoking Jim is feeling great. And we had a great show. It was quite entertaining. Poor Nick got cut out of this. I finally got him on board regularly. And he got to be in the bullpen. Since he played baseball, he knows what that is. Please stay Joey strong.